Oh, Sashi Booty Dana, baby, we back! And even though Death Garden and my channel were kinda dead, we're back, just like this 90s twink dad look that I'm rocking right now. So, on to the crux of the video. I've been working on a 2D demake of Dead by Daylight, and it's actually been coming out pretty cool so far. And because of the way that the world is right now, I've been given a little bit more time to sit down and program. So one day, while slaving over a hot keyboard, my motivation beating me down, telling me I have to get something finished, I created a janky script that would unlock the true potential of Game Maker Studio 2. And here it is. This is the 2D Dead by Daylight Demake version 0.05. And what we have here is a game pretty comparable to how you would play Dead by Daylight with the top-down view and NES-style graphics. Alright, so it works like this. You can go and you can hide in a locker. Oh, can't hide in this locker though because Dwight's here. Sorry Meg, this locker's taken, but here, take this. You'll need it to kickstart that generator. I'm gonna get back in here. So in this world, basically, you're the only survivor who's actually working on generators. Probably something you're pretty familiar with if you've ever played Dead by Daylight. But with a small caveat. In this one, there's only one generator, as of now. This is all subject to change, by the way. And you get jerry cans to fill up... Oh, we saw the trapper. You get jerry cans to fill up your generator. Now, the way that this works is you get your jerry can... Oh, the killer's coming for me right now. This is bad. I haven't put it in a hit state yet, so he shouldn't be able to hit me. Oh. But as soon as we're out of this field of view here, he actually won't be able to see us and we can escape. So as of right now, he can't kill me, he can't hook me or anything like that. I'm still trying to figure out how I want to do that. But I'm sure you've noticed the heart in the top left-hand corner over there. And that's going to indicate how much health you have to actually go across the game. Now, if you get hurt, you can heal. But you'd need to get a med kit, which actually happens to be right over here. I haven't put in treasure chests yet, so they're just out in the open. So if you pick up the med kit, you're actually able to use the med kit and heal yourself up. Another thing you could do, which I didn't get to show off before because Dwight was in it, is you can hide in a locker. Right now, I don't have any crows or anything like that, but I'm going to make it so that if you're in the locker for too long, a crow comes up and the killer will come right for you. So he actually, the killer, his AI is pretty interesting. It's not perfect yet, but he can follow you, he can find you, and he can grab you if you're in a locker and he sees you do it. In the original Dead by Daylight, he is in first-person mode, so that's a little bit harder to implement in a 2D style. So I actually had him have his own cone of vision. And you have your own cone of vision, it's called a FOV, and it's this black circle around you. But I just picked up the flashlight, and when you use the flashlight, what that's going to do is it's actually going to make your FOV disappear for a little while instead of blinding the killer. And with that, you can actually see exactly where the killer is, even though he won't be able to see you unless you're too close to him. Now the killer, what he does right now is he walks around. Oh man, he's right on me. He's going to walk around, he's going to set traps, and if you get stuck in the trap, he comes right for you. You got to struggle to try to get out. But if the killer's on you, what do? Yeah, I mean, you can't just keep running away forever. Eventually, he's going to come and get you. So you're going to have to try to hit him with a pallet. So he screws up a little bit, and he gets... Oh, he already broke it. He screws up a little bit, and he gets himself, you know, in the wrong direction. But that's all, you know, subject to change. This is still 0.05. And we got trapped again. Wonderful. So basically, this is what I've got done so far. It's not a lot, but it's just enough to get us going through the game. You know... We're going to work on the generator. The killer is going to try to kick it if he sees that it's been worked on. It's pretty much got the core of Dead by Daylight in there, but there's still a lot to go. Anyway, so I'd like to show you how we actually got to this point now. So this is probably one of the earliest iterations I can remember of doing the AI for the trapper. Basically, I had him on a loop so that he could go and he could set down some traps, and then he would just kind of walk around aimlessly. There wasn't any kind of like pathfinding for him at this point or any actual objective, so he would just walk through any solid object. This is about where I figured out how to get him to follow the player and actually interact with these objects a little bit. So I had him being able to get hit by pallets. He would run across a pallet instead of through it. Mainly he would have to break them to get through it, but there were some bugs. He was getting stuck on a lot of things, and at some points he would just continue to play his animation without going all the way through it. He would just kind of start over midway through. That needed to be fixed. context. So although it looks a little bit more fancy, it's pretty much more of the same. He would get a little bit of a speed boost while chasing after you. He would still occasionally get stuck on things, which was kind of annoying. But I think that this was a better iteration of the code that I had made for him. So this is where the game started to come a little bit more together. So what you're seeing here is a behind the scenes look at how the Trapper's AI is working. Basically, he has a cone radius. It's that little red alpha circle around him. That's his cone of vision of what he can see. The cross indicates when the player is in any of those locations and he can't seem to get to them because there's a solid object. He has to determine whether that is a pallet or a tree or something like that and determine if he's going to run around it or he's going to actually hit it. The blue square is going to be his hitbox zone. Sometimes he doesn't turn around in the correct direction of where the player is, but I got it working pretty well here. Those blue squares with the yellow in them are just basically solid zones that are interactable. So the killer and the player both have something that they could do in that spot. Overall, this is pretty much when the game started to come together. So I have actually been thinking about implementing the killer mode as well and making that kind of more like a 3D dungeon crawler, but still keeping to that 2D pixel art kind of thing. I really want to try it, but like I said earlier, motivation is a huge factor in me getting this finished. So if you guys want to see it finished, basically you just have to bully me. You have to bully me into doing it or I will not do it.